let's talk.
Turn me up some more.
This video is going to be from a poll that you guys voted on my Instagram, but you guys voted that you guys wanted to see a video on how I became a content creator. Okay, so little backstory of how I began my content creation career. Last year in March, I decided I wanted to go travel the world, and I ended up in Bali, Indonesia. That is kind of when I started to take content creation seriously. It was just a trial and error type of situation. I really focused on taking videos, taking photos, and TikTok. I kind of gave up on Instagram. I wasn't posting that many photos. I wasn't doing that many reels. Content wasn't really performing well on there. So my main focus at the time was on TikTok. And I was just making like day-to-day videos using like a trending sound and recording my day. In Bali, it was very, very easy to record. It's just such a beautiful island. I was doing something new every single day, and it was just very, very easy to get content there. I was there for about a month. I was focusing on TikTok. I was doing trends. I was just doing very, very basic content creation stuff, and I had pretty much no idea what I was doing. And at the time, I did have another business that I was running, and that was kind of like my main source of income. Fast forward, I leave Bali and I come back to the States. I'm from Massachusetts. It was a little hard to record and get the type of content I wanted where I was currently living. Don't get me wrong, I love my hometown, I love everybody there, but what I was picturing my content to be and what I wanted to make, I couldn't really do that in Massachusetts. At the time, I didn't really know where I wanted my content to go. I was trying like makeup videos, trends, fashion, and nothing was very like clicking. So that was kind of a struggle I dealt with when I went back to the States. At the time, I decided I wanted to move. So I moved to Florida. Honestly, it was very, very easy to get content. Like, I was able to record my days, I was traveling, I was going to LA, I was going to Miami, and just it was much easier to record my life that way than when I was back home. So probably for a couple months into like, I want to say October, I was just doing basic trends. My content didn't really have specific niche. So a niche is pretty much like, oh, you do beauty content, oh, you do fashion content. But my content was mainly just based on trend, a day in my life. Looking back at my content back then compared to now, it was awful. But that's with anything you do. So a couple months go by, and being a entrepreneur or self-employed person, you need to have more than one source of income. And I had another business that I was running. It was doing really, really well, and I realized, I'm like, I have all this free time now, let me try to venture in another income path. And I really wanted it to be content creation because that is what I was doing. It's what I really, really love to do, and I didn't have the following to do that. Like, I wasn't an influencer. I didn't have 50,000 followers. A couple of my videos went viral on TikTok, but that was about it. I needed to figure out a way where I could make money doing content without needing a large following. Well, that brings me into my next business. And I got into the Amazon Influencer Program, or Amazon Associates. You might have seen very, very big influencers promote their Amazon link, or go to my link and check out my Amazon storefront. That is what I got into because, oh, like, this is really great. Like, I can start making money through Amazon and promoting their products. That is what I kind of really, really focused and nailed down on for, say, a few months. I started really transitioning my TikTok into a niche, and that niche was promoting Amazon products. I started making like 3 videos every single day. I was posting as much as I can. I was directing the viewers to go to the link in my bio and purchase whatever product I was talking about or promoting or whatever. It went really, really well. A couple of my videos were very, very successful. Like, they went viral, over 1 million views. It was like that for about probably like a month or 2. I was getting paid. I was making money through this link. Like, okay, this is going really, really well. Let me continue making TikToks about Amazon. But there has to be another way that I can make money with content creation. That brings me into what I'm currently doing now. That is called UGC, user generated content. You might have heard it before, you might have not, but I'm gonna go over kind of what it is and how I made money off of it. But if you have heard of it, it became very, very popular on TikTok this past, I want to say June or July. Like literally my whole feed was talking about UGC, you can make content for brands, you don't have to have a large following, all this great amazing stuff. And I was like, okay, wow, like I could start doing this. Started creating my resume for content creators or portfolio, I want to say in July, August, but I didn't take it that seriously. I was traveling, I was doing a bunch of other things. I kind of strayed away from it a little bit. Fast forward to October, November, I was like, okay, let me get back into it and see if it's still a thing, if I can make money from it. Created my portfolio, and in the portfolio, you're pretty much, it's like a resume for content creators. You're showing your work, you're showing your videos, you have your rates, your services, what you can provide to brands, and you send this resume or portfolio to brands that you want to work with. It took me about, I want to say, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks to really put my portfolio together, perfect it. Looking back now, it was god-awful compared to what I have now. Once that was complete, I started reaching out to brands. These were brands I was just looking for on Instagram, looking for on TikTok, brands that you know to this day, like very, very popular brands. I was pitching to them. I was pitching my services. I was pretty much telling them ways that I could help them. To get into what UGC actually is, user-generated content, this is when you are creating content for brands to use either for ads or organic posting. So let's say you're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, even TikTok, and you swipe and you see an ad. That is what I could create for these brands. And then also organic posting, this is when the brand is posting to their feed on either Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or anything like that. There's no money put behind the content to be pushed out to thousands, millions of people. A lot of people confused UGC and influencing. The thing about UGC is you don't need a large following. You don't need tens of thousands of followers, and you don't have to post the content on your page. And you're getting paid very similar to what an influencer would get paid. So after I started pitching to brands, I was pitching to probably like 20, 30 brands a day on Instagram. I was finding their contact information on their website, and I spent most of my days pitching my services to brands and how I can benefit them. And I probably got my first deal within the first 2 weeks. I was busting my ass, reaching out to brands. I created a bunch of new social media accounts, a TikTok account, I created a new Twitter account. I wasn't really focused on Instagram at the time, so I didn't do anything with Instagram, but I was pitching to them on like my personal account. I made a new email. I was like, okay, like I want brands to take me seriously. Like I got my first deal within the first 2 weeks, and I was so excited. I was like, no way. I just got a brand deal and they're actually paying me. Most of the time brands want to give you gifted collabs, and this is when they just send you the product for free and you make a video about it and you post it on your social media channel. That is what probably is the hardest part when talking to brands. They want to just send you the product for free and you make the video and so on. I was so excited when I got my first deal. The first deal I ever got was for like a hair dryer. I got my first deal and I was so happy. I was like, wow, like this actually works. Like I put in a lot of work, and a brand said that they wanted to work with me. We worked out a payment, a contract, and I only had to make one video for them that they used for, I believe, organic posting. Okay, I got my first brand deal. Let's pitch to more. What really helped me was being super active on TikTok and Twitter. Brands are looking for creators, and when you're super active on social media, and being a UGC creator, the Twitter community is legit massive. Like when I tell you like, oh, you have to go on Twitter, people are like, what are you talking about? Like Twitter is dead. Not for UGC, not for any of that. As time went on and I was being super active on Twitter and TikTok, brands started emailing me and we would work out deals, and the snowball effect just kept going. And I started working with more brands as a UGC creator. The type of content I was creating is brand sends me a product to work out kind of what I'm going to say in the video, and the main focus of the video is showing how the product can solve an issue. So for example, let's say a brand sent me this light. It is targeted towards people who are recording and can never get a good light in their video. They struggle with filming good content. So let's say a brand created this light, send it to me as the UGC creator, and they're like, okay, we want you to show people how to use the light, how it has solved an issue, pretty much direct the viewer to our website or whatever social media page where they can actually go and purchase the light. There is a lot more details that go into how these videos are produced. I can even put a little example right here, a video for one of my monthly clients I created for them. That is a great example of kind of how the product solved an issue, or how to use. There's like a script, a brief, and a lot of contact with the brand on how video is going to be produced and filmed and edited and stuff like that. It actually took me a lot of time to figure out how to actually make high quality converting content. When I say converting is when the brand posts the video either as an ad or as organic, people actually buy the product. In the beginning, I don't even want to watch my old videos because they're probably so bad. So it kind of did take me a while to actually figure out how to make converting content for brands. And when you make converting content for brands, the brands are going to come back. They're going to want more content. They're going to pay you and all that stuff. I have probably worked with over 40 plus brands to this day. Some of those brands, I am just in shock that I was able to work with them. They're like dream brands that I've never thought that I would be able to work with. I'm just so grateful that I put in the work and dedicated my time to doing this, because now I do this full time. But it took me a while to get to where I am today. So let's kind of rewind. I started UGC in October, November. I started creating content for brands, and I would say my biggest month was probably like December and January. From a brand and marketing aspect, those are the biggest months. So a lot of brands were looking for content creators to create content for them, whether it be for paid media, ads, or organic posting. To kind of bring us to where we are today, I am working with a few brands on a monthly basis. So I don't have to reach out to brands as much because I have secured and contracts are in place with brands that I am working with over a longer period of time. It's kind of the overall goal of being a UGC creator or content creator is you want to build a relationship with the brand so you can work with them for a longer period of time and you have a stable income coming in every single month on what you guys kind of agreed on. It has been amazing. With that being the case of having more free time and having these brands kind of locked in for a certain amount of months, this has given me more free time to kind of discover other ways to make money online being a content creator. Currently right now, I am really focused on, I got into YouTube. This is what we're doing right now. I'm talking to you guys. And then I started taking my Instagram page more seriously. I don't know about you, but Instagram really plummeted in views and likes for a while. And for, I want to say like a good like 6 months, I never posted on Instagram. Probably the last 2 months I have been taking my Instagram very seriously. I'm pretty much posting every single day. I have been doing reels, I have been doing stories. I am really focused on growing my Instagram page. Since I was able to grow my 2 other TikTok accounts, I'm growing my YouTube page right now. I'd say the probably hardest part is growing a Instagram page and YouTube page. It takes a while to get followers and I am nowhere where I want to be, but as long as I stay consistent with posting and believe in myself and continue to make content that I really want to create. Let me tell you, being a content creator does not happen overnight. Yeah, a post can go viral, especially on TikTok. I have accomplished so much within the past, I want to say 6 months, and I have to keep reminding myself that it does not happen overnight. It is a huge learning curve. As long as I stay consistent with it, it's going to grow over time. I kind of wanted to save all of my tips and tricks for the last part of this video. So if any of you guys are interested in starting a career in content creation, I really want to help you guys out. Whether that be just Instagram posts or making TikToks, or if you are interested in starting UGC, I would love to help you out with that as well. That kind of leads me into my tips and tricks section on being a content creator, UGC, and just creating content in general. I want to say my biggest tip that I can give literally anyone is staying consistent. And I know it's so cheesy, and I know that you probably hear it all the time, but staying consistent with it, whether that be taking photos, makeup videos, fashion videos, whatever it may be, as long as you are consistent with it, it is going to grow over time. That'd be your followers, your views, your engagement. That kind of leads me into my second tip. You want to make content on something that you actually like doing. Because if you're going to be making content on stuff that you don't like, you're not going to want to make content with it. Really figure out what you love and what you want to make content about. And that goes into my third tip, is figuring out who your audience is. Your audience is people who are watching your videos. Let's say you want to really do makeup videos. You have to be like, okay, my audience is also people who are interested in makeup or want to learn more about makeup. Figuring out who your audience is really going to help your videos perform well over time, because you're going to gain that audience that's like really interested in whatever you're doing, whether that be makeup, fashion, vlogs, whatever. Last tip is stop caring what others think of you. That is going to hold you back on the things that you're actually going to want to do. I'm guilty of this as well. In the beginning of my content creation, or just making content and posting on social media in general, I was so in my head about what other people are going to think of me. All this crazy nonsense in my head, and it took me a little while to be like, who cares? There's always going to be someone who actually enjoys what you're posting. And once you get over the fact of not caring what others think, it is going to be a huge relief off your shoulders. Now you get to really focus on you and what you want to create as content. Yeah, those are some of my tips that I do recommend if you are interested in creating content. I have done all those tips. That is how I have gotten to where I am today, is not caring, staying consistent, figuring out what type of content I like to personally create, and so on. If you guys are interested, I can definitely go into a more in-depth video about user-generated content and kind of how to get started. I do have a bunch of information in my link in my bio. I can also link it down below that kind of helps you get started with pitching the brands, contracts. You can even hop on a one-on-one call with me so I can answer any of your UGC questions. We'll do another poll on my Instagram that you guys can vote on if you guys want to do a in-depth video about UGC. But yeah, so that was kind of a overall summary about my story with becoming a content creator. And if you guys do have any questions or want to know more, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and follow, and I will see you next time. Hey! It's okay! All this